is Russ. Yeah, I'm back in the car again. What time is it? 9:06 a.m. on a Monday. 45 degrees outside. It is getting cold. Yeah, speaking of cold, how's my cold? I don't know if you count this as a cold. I guess it would be considered a cold, right? It's not the flu. I don't have body aches or anything like that going on. Well, the heater is kicking in. Anyway, let me tell you about this weekend. Okay, so on Saturday, I received a text in the afternoon from our church worship leader. Yeah, I wasn't scheduled to play, and I wasn't planning on going to church anyway because I'm still trying to get over this thing, right? The voice is a little bit better now, but you can still hear it. It still has a little raspiness to it. So, yeah, I didn't go to church the previous week. I wasn't planning on going to church this week. I've missed at least 2, if not 3, of the Thursday night Bible studies. So anyways, I get this text from the worship leader saying that our keyboard player had the flu. Yeah, she wasn't feeling good, and she was scheduled to play on Sunday. She says, I know it's last minute, but, is it possible for you to play keyboards on Sunday, which be less than 24 hours, right? I said, I go, okay. I had to think about this one because, I'm not feeling 100% well. But, I'm functional. Like I said, I don't have I have weakness in the body, but I don't have body aches. I don't have flu-like symptoms. But, I'm coughing a lot. I'm blowing my nose a lot. There's a lot of phlegm, coughing that up. And so I told her, I says, yeah, I can do it. But realize I'm fighting my own cold. But I feel like I'm near the tail end of it, although it's still going, obviously. But the nice part is the keyboards is off to if you face the stage, I'm on the far left of the stage. So I'm away from pretty much everybody, right? I says, as long as you know that I'll be bringing my Kleenex box and blowing my nose in between all the stuff. I says, yeah, I could do it. So I says, send me the songs. Now, typically when they send us songs, there's an app that we use. It's called Planning Center. A lot of churches use it. What they can do is they can schedule people. They know, who's doing what for that particular week. So all the musicians know who's playing and, who's running the front of house, which is the sound system, right? Who's running the sound systems, who's setting up the chairs and tearing things down, who's running cameras and all that stuff. Because the church, like I mentioned before, is a fairly large church. We have 3 services that we run, 9 o'clock, 10:30, and 12 o'clock. Okay, so you got to play all 3 services, so you're kind of there the whole time. And it was a communion Sunday too, which means you're going to be playing a song after the communion typically. Now, luckily, they put the communion early this time. They didn't put it at the end of the service. Because if they do that, then, when we're done with the 3rd service, typically once we finish playing in the morning, we just leave, right? Because we've already been there for 2 services. We don't want to sit around for 3 services, identical services. But sometimes they put the communion at the end of the service after the sermon, and then the band to come back up again and play, which means you got to be there the whole time. But luckily, we played 2 songs, they did communion, then we played the 3rd song, then we got off the stage, okay? So I got the songs, and she says, don't worry, they're songs that are familiar to us. So the first 2 songs I'm very familiar with. I've played it many times before, but the 3rd song, the song after the communion, was a song that the church has done, but I don't think I've played it before. We have a rotation of musicians, so sometimes you play, sometimes you don't, and I know we've done the song before, but I don't think I've played it, and I definitely have not played it on the keyboards before, and not in the key of D flat. Okay, now if you're not a keyboard player, you might not know, but certain keys are harder to play than others. Okay, there's what we call natural keys, which is all the white keys on a keyboard, right? You got white keys, black keys. Well, D flat would be in the black keys, okay, which makes it difficult to play. Now, the other keyboard player was going to play it in the key of D and then use the transpose button on the keyboard system to make it sound like D flat, okay, but then it's easier to finger in the key of D. Well, I don't play that way, you know. If I hear D flat, I play D flat. I mean, I play by ear. I mean, if you watch how I play, most often people are surprised I don't have any music in front of me. The only thing I usually have in front of me is the names of the songs that we're playing and what key we're playing it in. That's it. I don't put the lyrics up. I don't have the chords. I don't have anything. I listen and I play, okay? Well, I had less than 24 hours to learn this song and learn it in a key that's difficult to play. And I will say this, it was a challenge. So anyway, in the first song, I learned it in the key of E, which is how we normally played it. But then when we got to church, the worship leader said, no, we're going to play it in the key of F. So now the fingering's all different again, right? But I know the song well enough that I was able to do that, okay? The second song, I've played a lot of times too, and I usually shouldn't have any issues with it, but I did have an issue on the second service. Yeah, so the first service and the third service, I played pretty well. But the second service, I was drugged out. Yeah, I was drugged out. I took an antihistamine to kind of stuff up my runny nose, right? But if you look at any of those medications, they usually say it could cause drowsiness. I was getting drowsy by that time. I didn't have much sleep either. I guess I was worried about, you know, the songs and you know, excited to play as well. And so I woke up by 12 something, didn't fall asleep until about 2:30, and I had to get up at about 5:30. So really, I think I just had really, according to my sleep functions on my watch and also on my ultrahuman ring, I had about 2 hours and 45 minutes of sleep. Plus then I was drugged out from the antihistamine. Yeah. By the time the second service came about, I could feel it. I was literally like in a daze as I was playing. And because of that, I made some mistakes in playing the second and the third song. I mean, it's not real bad, but it was noticeable. I mean, by the time I played the third song, I was playing the introduction slightly different than how we had actually rehearsed it. Which of course threw the singer off a little bit, so she kind of waited a little bit, and then eventually I corrected myself. So the first and third services were pretty good, but the second service is the most important, and the reason is because that's the one we play on Zoom, so people at home can watch it, and it's live streamed on YouTube, and it's the service that we actually put up when we post it to YouTube. So sadly, of the performances from the band, my performance on the second service was the worst, and that's the one that's now going to be immortalized on YouTube. So I feel a little bad about that. I mean, it's not super bad. I mean, you always hear people make a mistake here or there, you know. I mean, it's live. What are you going to do, right? It's not like you can overdub it and change it. But I still feel bad about that. I didn't make a mistake. Russ is always right. I told you. It was the drugs. Yeah, I could feel it. I was kind of like playing in a daze. I mean, it was pretty bad. But because I knew that was happening by the time the third service happened, I tried my best to wake myself up. You know, get up. You know, get some movement in me or something to get me going. So here's the interesting thing. It was an acoustic set. Now, typically on the services, we have a number of instruments. We'll have a lead guitar player and a rhythm electric guitar player. We'll have the bass player, the drummer, the keyboards, the acoustic guitar, the two singers. You know, we have a lot of people up there. This time it was stripped down. It was just the worship leader playing guitar and singing. We had another singer, and then we had the bass player and me. So instrument-wise, we only had 3 instruments. It was going to be an acoustic set. Now, had I said no and I wasn't going to do it, it would have only been the acoustic guitar and the bass. And that would have been too minimal. So I'm glad I said yes, but I wish I could have played it a little bit better. At least for the second service, that is, you know. So I'll say this. The worship leader usually memorizes everything too. She memorizes the chords, she memorizes the words. So she's pretty good in that. And she's usually pretty much on key. And our other singer is extremely good. Yeah. Yeah. Think CeCe Winans, those who know singers. She's as good. I'm telling you. She sounds as good. She's really good. She's been my favorite singer at church for over 10 years, I think, because she was at the church we were prior to the church we're at now. And so we had good singers. We had a good guitarist. We had our bass player is exceptional. Yeah, he actually graduated with a degree in music. He's a professional bass player. Yeah. He's doing Grease right now. He's doing one of the productions of Grease. He's a bass player for that show. Before Grease, he was doing what was he doing? Frozen. Yeah, he was doing the play of Frozen. So, anyways, he plays at our church, and he's probably our best bass player. I would have to say that. Yeah, I think pretty much everyone acknowledges that because come on, the guy is a pro. That's all he does. His professional work is playing bass. And so we always have a good time. In fact, the very first time I met him, we were just starting out at the church. Somebody took my spot. I'm going to have to take the other spot now. I didn't realize he was playing bass at the time. I was taking photos at the time. And I introduced myself, and then he says, "No, I'm up there playing bass." This is the problem, people don't recognize who's actually playing a lot of times. So anyway, he's really good, and he improvises very well. And he's like me; he plays by ear as well. He usually has his music up there too, but he plays by ear. So on the very first service, I can hear he was doing his typical bass runs and things like that. So I threw a couple of my own keyboard things in there too. By the second service, I was all drugged out, so I couldn't function well. But by the third service, typically it's a smaller service because it's new. Because we usually only had 2 services. We split into 3 now, and you know that you're almost done. So we tend to just let loose and play whatever we want. So anyways, we started out the service. Typically, the keyboard, the acoustic guitar would start by itself first, and then we come in. So I came in a little bit earlier, played a few notes here or there, and I could see our bass player turn and look at me, give me this smile. So then, of course, then he came in and he played his little improvising type fills and stuff. So I came back, I played mine as well, and so we were basically going back and forth, trying to outdo the other guy. I tell you, the best music comes from when there's that kind of interaction, and the two of us are able to do it. Okay, keyboard is not my main instrument, but it is the first instrument I learned. I started out as a keyboard player when I was like 10 years old. No, even before then. I think I was probably maybe 8, something like that, 8 years old, and then I moved to guitar when I was 10. So so to be able to play off of each other like that is really what's fun. And the fact is that there wasn't much other instruments to mess up with. We didn't have a click track or anything in our in-ear monitors, so we set our own tempos and played off of each other. There's only 3 instruments, so how hard could it be, right? Now, a worship leader typically will play it the way she normally does because she's the main singer, right? So she's going to sit there and sing it. So she's going to have to lead the service, and then she's strumming, right? But the two of us are kind of backing her up, so we're doing our little fills here and there and kind of trying to outdo the next guy. I wish they would have put up the third service instead, because we played a lot better on that third service. Usually by the time you hit the third time around, you've played it, 3 times already. So you usually play a little bit better, because you've had a chance to practice it several times. Anyways, that was the fun for Sunday. I didn't have a video ready for this Monday morning. I'm hoping to, as I finish up here at Costco, get back, edit the video and upload it to you guys. So if you see it coming up at around 12 noonish, give or take, it's the same day that you're seeing the video, okay? I do need to work on my reviews. I'm getting a little bit better. The voice still is a little off, but I think I'm going to have to start doing it because the weather's getting colder, and it's going to be even colder during the rest of this week. So today is the warmest of the days. It'll hit a high of 62 degrees by around 2 o'clock. So I think I'm going to have to go out, do my ride, because it's something I need to do. Do my ride, do the video, do whatever voiceovers I need to do, and get at least one of those videos out for the reviews. And then sometime a little bit later in the week, even though it'll be cold, I'll try to do the XP Trike 2 from Electric. So yeah, I still feel guilty that, you know, things are just hanging around and I'm not getting to it, but I'm not up to snuff, obviously. Up to snuff. Who came up with that? But anyway, that's the deal. So anyways, if you like this video, let me know in the comments below if you've ever been drugged out to the point where you're just barely functioning and then have to perform in front of a lot of people. Hey, isn't that how all musicians are? Aren't they always all drugged out? Well, for me, it's a rarity because I don't take drugs typically. I don't even like taking the medication I do for my diabetes, but I gotta do it. That's the only drugs I typically take now, is that. I take like the D3 supplement because I think a lot of us need to get D3 at our ages. And then I take the metformin and the high blood pressure medication. And there's a cholesterol medication that I take too, which I've always wondered why they even gave it to me because my cholesterol is really not that high. But they gave me the absolute lowest dosage, so I take that as well. So add the antihistamine in there. There was probably like 6 pills in me. Yeah, I would make a lousy professional musician because I can't play drugged out. Oh, man. All right. Anyways, hit the like and subscribe button. I'll talk to you guys next time. Okay, I'm back with a bonus. Show you some of the things that I bought. Let me see here. So the first thing I bought at Costco was this. This is Marie Callender's 8 chicken pot pies, tender white meat chicken. Now, every October, this thing becomes available on sale. And every October, I always buy at least 1, sometimes 2, if I finish it all up. How much was this thing? Pot pies, $12.99 minus $4 on sale. Yeah. What else did I get? Ling Ling pot stickers. Yeah, well, Mrs. Wright makes pot stickers, and she doesn't typically like these because these are kind of oniony, but I don't want to eat up all her pot stickers, so I got some for myself. How much was that? Ling Ling pot stickers was, where is Ling Ling? Okay, here it is. $10.99 minus $3.20 on sale. And I bought, what is this? Bulldog Carbonara Spicy Ramen Artificial Spicy Chicken Flavor. This is Korean noodles. They have that over at Kao. Remember Kao, the Korean barbecue place? Yeah, they have that one there. So how much is that? $11.99 minus $3.50 on sale. Now, I've never tried this particular flavor. However, from reports of others, they said this is actually pretty good. So, hey, I figured I'd try it. Now, you might say, oh, hey, Russ, there's a lot of carbs in there. Well, I don't eat it all at one time. If I have one of these things, it would probably end up having to replace one of the pizzas. Yep. So, yeah, I've got to make decisions of when I go to Costco and when I don't. But I bought these things because, in the days that maybe I won't go to Costco, I'll have some of these things to eat. So total $25.27, sales tax 44 cents, total $25.71. Not too bad for all that stuff. So yeah, sometimes I do buy things at Costco. I don't just go there and get pizza. Yeah. So anyways, just thought I'd turn on the camera and let you know what I got. Talk to you guys next time.